This episode is brought to you by Sterling Soap Company. How often do you think about your soap? Well, if you answered, not much, maybe you should. You see, a lot of what passes for soap in stores is technically not soap, according to the FDA's definition. It's full of lab-created chemicals and detergents because, well, it's cheaper to make. Now, what if you could buy natural soap made from natural ingredients like tallow, palm oil, coconut oil, and scented with essential oils, and for just a little more than you'd pay for grocery store soap? Sterling Soap is 100% natural, and with a wide variety of bath soaps, shave soaps, beard balm, lotions, and cologne, there's a product and a scent for just about everybody. Check them out for yourself at sterlingsoap.com. That's STIRLING soap.com.
Hey there, sports history fan. This is Darren Hayes, host of the Pigskin Dispatch and Jersey Dispatch podcast. I hope you've enjoyed another great episode here on Sports History Network. Now, speaking of sports history, this episode was brought to you by Firefly Books, and they have two great ones for you this summer. For basketball fans, they have the NBA 75, the definitive history by author Dave Zarum, who's appeared on our Jersey Dispatch podcast recently. He tells about the experience, the thrilling journey of the NBA, from its humble beginnings to its modern glory. Uncover the untold stories of triumph, controversy, and the greatest stars of the game. This isn't just a book. It's courtside seats to over 75 years of NBA history. And for the golf enthusiasts, swing into The Golf Round I'll Never Forget by Matt Adams. Relive 50 of golf's most memorable moments through the eyes of the legends themselves. From Garcia's triumph at the 2017 Masters to Nicklaus' miraculous 1986 comeback, it's the closest you'll get to walking the fairways with golf's greatest. Get your summer read on. Grab a copy of NBA 75 or The Golf Round I'll Never Forget, available online or at your favorite bookstore.
This is Basketball History 101 with Rick Loayza.
Welcome back to Award-winning Basketball History 101, part of the Sports History Network. I am your host, Rick Loayza, and this is a podcast where we bring to life some of the forgotten stories from basketball history. We are bringing old school basketball to a new school audience. And today we bring you the story of that time that Kobe airballed 4 shots within 5 minutes. Now, today's story is not about criticizing Kobe or making fun of him or anything like that. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It has been over 28 years since those shots were taken, and that is enough time to look back and put those shots into context to better understand their long-term impact. Now, let me set the scene a bit. It was May 12th, 1997 in Salt Lake City, Utah. It was a beautiful spring day. The temperature was 80 degrees Fahrenheit or 27 degrees Celsius. It was a packed crowd in the Delta Center as the Utah fans were eager to see their Utah Jazz eliminate the LA Lakers from the playoffs and move on to the Western Conference Finals. The Jazz had defeated the LA Clippers in the first round, while the Lakers had defeated the Portland Trailblazers in the first round to create this second round matchup between the Lakers and the Jazz. Now, eventually, the Jazz worked their way all the way to the NBA Finals, where they met Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. But that is a different story. This was still the second round of the playoffs, and at this point, the Jazz had taken a lead of 3-1 in the series. The Jazz were eager to close out the series and eliminate the Lakers in Utah. The Jazz did not want to have to travel back to LA for Game 6 if they could help it. By ending the series in 5 games, it would give the Jazz a few days of extra rest before the next round. Now, with their backs against the wall, the Lakers battled the Jazz in a relatively tight game, and with about 11 seconds left in regulation, the score was tied at 89 points apiece, with the Lakers in possession of the ball for one last shot to hopefully win the game and stay alive. The Lakers inbounded the ball to Kobe Bryant, who brought it up the court with one eye on the clock. Any shot would win the game for the Lakers. It did not necessarily have to be a three-pointer. Now, on the court alongside Kobe was Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Eldon Campbell, and Jerome Kersey. And as I was doing the research for this story, I said to myself, where was Shaq? Because even though I had seen the game live at home, I had completely forgotten that Shaquille O'Neal had fouled out and had to sit on the bench helplessly. There was nothing he could do to help the Lakers as the most dominant big man in the league at the time. If someone was going to win this game for the Lakers, it was going to have to be somebody other than Shaq. So in that final possession of regulation, Kobe brought the ball up against Brian Russell. Kobe sized up Russell and dribbled hard to the right. Kobe hit the brakes at the right elbow. Russell's momentum took him one extra step before he was able to recover and close out on Kobe. But that was enough time for Kobe to get off a clean shot. Airball. The game was going into overtime and Kobe was a bit frustrated but was ready to play 5 more minutes to try to win the game. Now, before I tell the story of overtime, I want to pause for a moment and remind everyone that this was Kobe's rookie season in the NBA. He was not even a starter for the Lakers yet. He was a bench player for the Lakers and a backup for Eddie Jones. But in clutch situations, Coach Del Harris had no problem playing Kobe and Eddie Jones together on the court. They were both dynamic players who could get their own shot almost any time they wanted. And Kobe was still just 18 years old at the time of this particular game. He was still just a kid. And I have known lots of kids who were still in high school at that same age as Kobe was during this game. I mean, to put the ball into the hands of an 18-year-old to win the game and extend the season was a lot to ask, especially when the team had veteran all-stars on the roster who were better options on paper. To give the ball to the kid with the season on the line showed a lot of trust on the part of the coach, but the worst thing that would happen was overtime. As the overtime started, the Lakers won the jump ball and got the first possession. The Lakers worked the ball around and found Kobe Bryant on the left wing for an open three-pointer. He has time, he measures the shot, takes it, airball. Another airball. Even the announcers were flabbergasted that Kobe shot another airball. This was not going the way that the Lakers had anticipated. In the meantime, the Jazz took early control of overtime by going up 93-89 with a couple of quick baskets. Kobe then drove into the lane and made a short 2-point shot from the middle of a crowd. A minute later, the score was 96-93 in the favor of the Jazz. Kobe Bryant again got the ball at the top of the three-point line with a chance to tie the game and put the pressure back on the Jazz. He received the ball from Nick Van Exel for a catch and shoot. Over the outstretched hands of Greg Ostertag, he let it fly. And a miss. Now, when others tell this story, they will refer to this particular shot as another airball. However, it did graze the bottom of the rim and fell straight down into the hands of Jazz shooting guard Jeff Hornacek. But the Jazz were having trouble extending the lead beyond 3 points, so the Lakers had another opportunity to tie the game. With about 45 seconds left, Nick Van Exel was executing the half-court set and found Kobe Bryant open about halfway between the three-point line and the half-court line. Kobe took 2 dribbles as he faced down Brian Russell again. Kobe was showing drive, which caused Russell to take a step back, but then Kobe rose up for another three-pointer. Airball. The Jazz crowd was now roaring as Kobe had now shot 3 airballs and 1 badly missed 3-point attempt. They could not believe what they were seeing, and neither could the broadcasters. As a Lakers fan, I also could not believe what I was seeing. It was clear that Kobe did not have it that night. He was having trouble finding a shot, but the ball kept going to Kobe. Where was Nick Van Exel? Where was Eddie Jones? One of those 2 guys should be taking the shots if Kobe was cold, but again, the ball kept going to Kobe. Yet, despite all of this, the Lakers were still down only 3 points with 7 seconds left in the game. Van Exel again had the ball and was running the half-court set when he found Kobe wide open on the left wing. Now, as I re-watched this game several times in preparation for this episode, I noticed that Brian Russell was purposely leaving Kobe open to receive the pass. The only thing that makes sense to me is that the Jazz decided that if Kobe was cold, then they needed to leave Kobe open so that he continues to take those shots. There are some situations in basketball for players like Michael Jordan or Reggie Miller where the defender is playing deny on those shooters because of their caliber, and those teams want anybody else to take the shot. But in this case and on this day, the Jazz fully wanted the ball in Kobe's hands. So Bryon Russell played loose defense on Kobe until Kobe received the ball, and only then did Russell close the distance and play tighter defense on Kobe. So what happened on that possession with just 7 seconds left in overtime? Well, as I said, Kobe was wide open on the left wing on purpose. He received the ball and went straight into a three-point shot and airball. His fourth airball in 5 minutes, plus one really bad miss. It was probably the worst 5 minutes of basketball that Kobe Bryant had ever played in his NBA career. He took 6 shots in those 5 minutes and only made one, which was the short jumper from the middle of the paint. The Jazz won the game and closed out the series. The season was over for the LA Lakers. It was the first season with both Shaq and Kobe on the team. Shaq had fouled out and Kobe had never been colder from the outside. But here is where I really wanted to go with this story. As you might be asking, why did the Lakers keep giving the ball to Kobe when it was clear that he was having an off day? And I promise you that I was asking the same question as I watched this game live. But I once saw an interview with Shaq and his recollection of that moment. Now remember, Shaq had fouled out and was no longer an option. But as Coach Del Harris was running the huddle during the timeout, he looked around to see who wanted the ball. Van Exel was avoiding eye contact with his coach. Eddie Jones was avoiding eye contact with his coach. Nobody else was a real option, but Kobe Bryant was locked in eye to eye with Del Harris. Kobe was the only one who wanted to take those high pressure shots, and Shaq has confirmed this in several interviews. Nobody else on the team even wanted to take that shot. They were all scared of the big moment. They were scared of failing and getting laughed at. They were veteran all-star players who were more than happy to let Kobe Bryant take those shots because then nobody could blame them for missing them. And that is a shame on the part of those players. They wanted nothing to do with shooting the ball in the most clutch of moments. The only one that wanted the ball was the kid. Shaq recognized that immediately. As soon as the game was over, he went over to Kobe and brought him in a little bit closer and told him that he will get better and he will show everybody how dangerous that he would become someday. And Shaq was right. For the next 15 years, Kobe became one of the scariest players in the league. Kobe became the closest thing to Michael Jordan since Michael Jordan. Jerry West later said that this game was a defining moment for Kobe Bryant. It was the game that put focus on Kobe's maniacal work ethic. When Kobe got home to LA, he went straight to the gym and shot three-pointers for hours. He vowed that airballs like that would never happen again. While the Jazz were celebrating the demise of the Lakers and the critics were taking Kobe to task, what they did not know was that they had just awakened the giant within Kobe. In the long run, I'm glad they did awaken something. Kobe was selected to the All-Star game for the next 19 years in a row. He won a league MVP, 5 championships for the Lakers, and 2 Olympic gold medals for the United States. But this whole story of Kobe and these missed shots reminds me of something that was written by American President Theodore Roosevelt. He was the 26th President of the United States, having served from 1901 until 1909, and he wrote something called The Man in the Arena, and he delivered this as part of a larger address at the Sorbonne in Paris, and I'm going to go ahead and just read it for you. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievements, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. So, I salute Kobe Bryant, he was just 18 years old at the time, because at least he was the one willing to take those shots when even his own veteran teammates were scared to do so. Kobe is the one who gets the credit for having the courage to take the game into his own hands in front of nearly 20,000 people in the arena and millions more at home. He took the shots, he missed the shots, and it only made him better in the long run. And man, I miss Kobe Bryant. Well, that is it for today. Join us next time when we share another story from basketball history. That's next time on Basketball History 101, part of the Sports History Network, the headquarters of Sports Yesteryear. Go to sportshistorynetwork.com to find out more about this and other sports history podcasts. If you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts. And check out our page on Facebook. It's called Basketball History 101 Podcast. There you will find shorter historical posts as well as comments and discussion starters on today's game. I'll also announce there when new episodes come out. I want to thank my producer and editor, Jacob Loayza. Join us each week as we continue to mine the history of basketball for more great stories from the past. Take care and see you soon.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
The Sports History Network, where legends live on and the past plays loud. Welcome to the place where history's proud, from gridiron glory to the hardwood stars, from the racetrack heat to Olympic bars. It's the voices, the stories, the moments you miss, told by fans and pros who live for this. Hook and Themic, the Sports History Network, where the past comes alive. Podcasts and blogs that keep the flame high, from Babe to Brady, Alley to the Dome. If it's history and sports, then this is the home. SportsHistoryNetwork.com, the headquarters of sports yesteryear.